Hey there! My name is Professor Jean Mermolina, or Jean for short. I am a faculty member at LIU Brooklyn, and I'm a plant biologist by training. So you might be wondering, how did I become one? I was born and raised in the Philippines, and have always been in love with nature. I remember catching bugs in Barbie drawers and little fish guppies in the stream next to our house. So in college, I majored in biology. But it was after college that I got hooked into plants. When I volunteered for Conservation International Philippines to work in a remote jungle about 10 hours away from Manila by bus in a little Cessna plane infamously known as the Flying Coffin, because it crashes every 2 years. But hey, I'm still here, alive, and I made it to record this PowerPoint. In 2003, I came to America, to Rutgers at New Jersey for graduate studies. I worked on the evolution of a plant named liang. After receiving my PhD, I did my postdoctoral training, similar to a medical residency in my field, at NYU, and there I was fortunate enough to be part of groundbreaking research that deciphered for the first time the domestication origin of rice, which is China, by the way, and got us featured in BBC in 2011. After my postdoc at NYU, I joined LIU as a faculty member. Aside from general biology, I teach advanced plant biology courses. I teach graduate courses in medicinal botany, where we learn about various plants used for healing and the science behind it. Pharmacology, where I teach about modern drugs and the plants where we got them from. You'd be surprised that morphine and aspirin are some of them. The analgesic morphine comes from the same plant as the poppy seeds on your bagel, as well as the illegal drug heroin. Aspirin came from the traditional use of the willow bark for pain by our ancestors, and it was the pharmaceutical buyer that pharmaceutically developed it in the 1890s. I also teach bioinformatics and genomics, the use of computational tools in making sense of the massive amounts of biological data that we now have. But more relevant to you as incoming undergraduates is my undergrad course in ethnobotany, the traditional uses of plants, for food, clothing, medicine, etc. We talk about anything that plants can be used for. In class, we make chocolate the way Aztecs originally made them, without sugar, but with cayenne pepper. We make soap using plant oils, chewing gum from a tree sap. We prepare herbal medicines and test them for antibacterial and antioxidant properties. We even make beer from barley. Barley is a plant, so we have a good excuse to make beer. But of course, only those 21 and above can partake in beer tasting. But one of the most exciting things about being a faculty member is that you also get to design your own research projects, come up with your own questions, and find answers for them. Two of my main projects are Rafflesia biology and herbal medicine. I work on the biology of Rafflesia, which is in the Guinness Book of World Records for producing the largest flowers in the world, as you can see in this picture. Bigger than my face, and this is the medium size that we have in the Philippines. The largest in Borneo can grow up to 3 feet in diameter, and these are not miniature children. What's so fascinating about this plant is that it's unique from an evolutionary perspective. It has giant flowers that stink like rotten meat, hence the common name corpse flower, and it is a parasite, and we don't really think of plants being parasites, but Rafflesia is, sucking nutrients from another plant and only from this plant, nothing else. A Science News article even asked, when is a plant no longer a plant? But of course, Rafflesia is very much a plant. For one, it has a flower. Unfortunately, Rafflesia is endangered because of habitat loss, and so I'm finding ways to propagate it for conservation. And it has not been easy. But when you love something, you just don't give up. I also have research projects on herbal medicine, the use of plants for healing, particularly understanding evolutionary patterns. Are there certain plant families that are more often used for a particular type of disease by different cultures, what I term cultural convergence, And if yes, why? Like the Borsaraceae family here, also known as the frankincense or myrrh family, whose different species are being used by various cultures in treating musculoskeletal pain. You begin to wonder why, and you begin to wonder about the pharmaceutical potential of members of this plant family. These evolutionary patterns of closely related species being used to treat the same disease can guide our drug discovery efforts. I share my questions with the students who work in my lab, from high school to undergrads and graduate students. I truly enjoy mentoring students in cultivating scientific curiosity and being able to satisfy this through the exhilarating process of science. Every year, I mentor high school students in collaboration with Cold Spring Harbor Labs on DNA testing herbal supplements if they really contain the plant declared on the label. 20% of what we have tested did not, which is what I found out with my Brooklyn Tech high school students Tenzin, Joyi, and Choti in 2017. And we have published the study to make others aware that fraudulent herbal supplements abound in the American market. So this is me, Professor Jean Molina, in a nutshell. If you have questions, my email is here. I'd be thrilled to have you in my future classes and inspire you with amazing plant research. Thank you.